Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius and Anucauskas. Today is the 8th of April 2019. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're gonna have a look at the a few of the charts, a few of the instruments that we looked at this morning, just to see how they're going along, and of course some new ones as well. Yep, before we start looking at that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on here very quickly is the Nasdaq100. Now, looking at the cash index right now of Nasdaq100, we can see that it is slightly below the closing price, the last price that we had here on Friday. So it's going to be somewhere around here in the middle, around the 7,560 level, approximately there, just maybe slightly below the closing price of Friday, but nevertheless still in this little territory that I've got marked here, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. So it's the index is currently sitting between the 7,505 level, approximately there on the downside, and the 7,590 level on the upside. So what we're going to do here is, of course, we're going to continue observing these two levels and wait for a break before we actually take any further directional moves, or should I say consider any further directional moves. And if we see a drop here below the 7,505 level, now of course we could see a further slide lower, but the downside could be limited due to this this kind of in a bit of a tentative upside support line taken from the low of December last year. So we could see a slide lower, but again up until this upside support line, only up until here, which probably could be around the level here, around the 7,393.95, something like that. So keep your eyes on this area. So this is just an orientation mark here for you guys, just to kind of see where it could go. But again, in order to kind of consider the downside, we would like to see a drop below the 7,505 level first, and then we will consider lower areas. In terms of the upside, as you probably already understood, we need to see a nice good pop here above the 7,590 level first, and then we could target the 7,691 level. And just to show you what that level was here in the past, and basically that's the all-time high, so near the all-time highs. That would be quite interesting to see if the index would actually manage to travel all the way there. But again, before we can consider this this area, we need to see a nice good break above the 7,590 level first. This way the index would confirm a forthcoming higher high here on this short-term picture, and yep, we could then consider, like I said, the all-time highs again. So let's see how this is going to play out. Keep your eyes on these two levels that I've just mentioned, and yep, keep an eye on the price action. Jumping into silver now, looking at this nice activity here. So silver is popping here to the upside, breaking its key area of resistance here near the 15.20. So of course all this creates a nice bullish scenario here, at least in the short run, where we could initially target the 15.33 zone first. But if that fails to withhold, then yep, the price would be placed above its 200 EMA as well, and of course that this could potentially invite even more buyers into the game, and we could see this one traveling further up here towards the 15.47 level, which acted as a very good area of resistance here back on the at the end of March, around the 26th and 27th of March. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. Certainly for now, it is looking more bullish than bearish, but of course the day is not finished. It might still reverse sharply back down and close the day below this level, below the 15.20 zone. And if we see such a scenario, then well, we will kind of hold on that upside, and we might see actually a slide back down here, especially if we see a drop below the 15.10, 15.10, 11, something like that. So if we see a drop below that level, then we could consider this area around here, around the psychological 15 level. But again, for now, it's looking more positive than negative. Yep, continue observing this key level here, key level of resistance around the 15.33 zone, which is, like I said, the high of the 28th of March, and also coincides with the 200 EMA, so which also could kind of slow down the price acceleration. So for now, guys, like I said, it is looking more bullish than bearish, but let's see how it's going to play out by the end of the day as well. DXY. Now, I've covered this one this morning, and basically I was talking about this, guys, and I was telling you to keep a close eye on this 97.20 zone, approximately there. So basically, we see a break below that. This could lead towards further declines, and in a way could lead towards the 97 level. So, and you can see that this is where it's heading now. It's almost reaching this 97 level. Of course, the big question here is, are we going to actually break that today, or is this something maybe for later on this week? For now, let's go just step by step. Let's initially aim for the 97 level, and then see how it's going to play around here. If we see a nice firm break here, a strong break, then yep, further declines could be possible towards, and we will target, let me just adjust one of these levels here, guys, quickly. Of course, one of the levels could be here around the 96.80 zone, which you can see that how well it acted here as a good resistance back here on the 4th of March and also on the 22nd of March. But again, slightly below that, we do have another potential area here around the 96.70. But to be honest, I mean, we do have this tentative upside support line. Now I am saying it's a bit of a tentative one, because you can see that here, back here in March around the 20th and the 21st, we had this crazy activity here where the index managed to break this upside support line to the downside, but then the next day quickly got back above it. So that's why we're going to just keep this line here for a little bit more and see how it's going to play out. And basically, initially, like I said, if we see a drop below the 97 level, especially if we see actually even a close, let's say of the four, even at least a 4-hour candle, if we see a close below the 97 level, this could increase the chances for this index to travel further down here and potentially test the 96.80 zone, which is also, by the way, coincides here with, which also coincides with the 200 EMA, or even this upside support line, like I said, taken from the lows of December, of the lows of January this year. So keep your eyes on this one. Very interesting developments here. And let's see how this is going to play out. Jumping into USD, I was talking about this one this morning as well. Keep telling you guys to keep a close eye on this 1.1250 zone, and now we're seeing a nice pop here to the upside, and of course it's breaking now not only this 1.1250 zone, but also this this R2, which coincided with the 100 EMA here, shown as the green line on the 4-hour chart, but now it continues to aim higher. The next target for us is, of course, this area between the 112.75 and 85. We're going to keep a close eye on that one. But the last kind of, let's say, the last potential area which could hold this bull acceleration, this bull pressure, would be this 200, could be, of course, this 200 EMA. Now, that said, I mean, of course, if that gets broken, then we could see further acceleration to the upside. But again, for now, let's go step by step. First, let's see what it wants to do with this area here between the 112.75 and 85. That's going to be our little target here for now. But if that fails, then yep, the last kind of resort for the bears could be this 200 EMA. So let's see if it actually manages to reach these levels here. in terms of the downside, now this is where it could be interesting, because if this decides to suddenly reverse back down here and drops by the end of the day, drops below the 112.50 zone, of course this could mean that the let's say the bulls are actually not that strong. We could maybe see that the bears actually, there are more bears picking up on this and potentially, in order kind of to drive this one lower, then of course we will target this 112.05 zone approximately there. But then if we see further breaks here, then yep, we'll just take it from there. Now I was talking this morning, I was talking about these lower levels here at 111.90 and the 111.75, but currently looking at this picture right now, this is looking more bullish than bearish. And like I said, if you are looking at this, for now can just target these a few of these levels here around the 1.1285 or something like that here, or around this 200 EMA. Let's see how this is going to play out further around there. USDJPY, very quickly, also I was talking about this one, and you probably now understand logically that if the DXY is falling and the euro dollar is rising, so we do have a slide here in the USDJPY. So initially this morning we're trading close to this 111.50 level, but still we're kind of below that, and you can see that how nicely the bears are picking up on all this and driving this pair lower. So now it's aiming for this 50 EMA here, shown as the red line, which is around the 111.2625 zone approximately there. And if that fails to withhold, then further declines are possible. Of course, initially we will target the 200 EMA, which is around the 111 zone approximately here. And slightly below that we do have this upside support line, this tentative, very tentative upside support line taken from the lows of the 25th of March. But then again, before we could consider that, or before we could consider this line, we need to see a couple of breaks here. Of course, now we're going to continue observing this 50 EMA, which is around the 111.2625. If we see a further slide lower here, then yep, the 111.15 level, that's what we're going to be looking at, which is also around today's S3. So very important area is going to be here. Yep, and we'll just take it from there and see actually if it wants to travel lower or not. But again, like I said, our initial target is around the 111.15 zone. In terms of the upside, well, as you probably understand here by this, looking at this chart, we need to see a nice good push back above the 111.50, and only then we will at least consider some of these higher levels. But again, in order to kind of consider higher levels in the near term, we would like to see a strong push above the 111.85 zone, and this way we could then aim for levels that we saw here back in the beginning of March, basically. So areas like around the 111.10 or slightly above that. But again, we'll get to that point if we see a pushback, at least a pushback above the 111.50. For now, this is looking more bearish than bullish. And the last pair I wanted to quickly touch on, and that was AUDNZD. Now, I was talking about this one last week, basically, and we also threw this one out on the 29th of March, and basically we're making a call here, a potential call, if we see a break above this 1.0450 level, 53, something like that. We could see a further acceleration to the upside. So we had a nice hit here of our take profit, and of course it kind of overshot it a little bit, but then quickly slid lower. So looking at this chart right now, we can actually get rid of this now. What we can do here is what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue observing the recent highs here that we saw here back on Friday. So that was approximately around the 1.0575 level. So basically, if we do get a nice push here above this level, certainly we could target higher areas, at least for a little bit more. This would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and yep, probably more bulls could be jumping on this one. But if it fails to let's say even travel towards the 1.0575 level, and if it starts reversing back down, we could in a way see something like this happening, guys. So where the pair could reverse here and drop lower. The only thing is, for those who are more on the cautious side, in a way, what you could do is wait until we see a nice good drop here below the 1.0530 zone, approximately there, which marks kind of the lows of today as well. So If we see a drop here below this, this would also place the rate below the 21 EMA here, shown as the yellow line, also the 20s SMA inside the Bollinger Band, and yep, we could see further declines here, at least in the short run. We could in a way target, of course this would be a good long shot here, this 1.0453, but what we will do is target this area here first, around the 1.0473 level. This could be that nice good sweet spot here for a potential reversal, maybe back to the upside. So but again guys, in terms of the downside, we will only consider the downside if we see a drop below the 1.0530 level. For now, of course, it's pushing higher, but again, let's see if it actually manages to travel back above the, or we shouldn't say back above the, but just above the recent highs here that we saw on Friday around the 1.0575 level. So nice good break above that could open the path towards slightly higher levels, and then yeah, we'll just take it from there. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and if you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Traders Espresso, and that's 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.